We are now starting with our first meeting of the advisory group of experts. I am Hanna Suchocka, one of the 6 members of the group which was established in order to assist the bodies appointing judges of the Constitutional Court with evaluating moral qualities and legal competence of candidates for the position of the judge of the Constitutional Court. Today, we have the first meeting of our body within 30 days since establishment of the advisory group of experts as stipulated by the law on Ukraine, on the Constitutional Court of Ukraine. Our meeting is being broadcast live on the website of the Constitutional Court of Ukraine. My colleagues have delegated to me the task to open and moderate the first meeting of the advisory group of experts till we elect the chair of the advisory group of experts. And since this is the first meeting of the advisory group of experts, each of the members will be given an opportunity to introduce themselves as well as their deputies. Short biography, of course, only because you have to know who we are. I think that we can start from the left to the right, and I give the floor to Mr. Romaniuk, member from the Ukrainian part. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ms. Suchocka. My name is Yaroslav Romaniuk. I'm the retired judge. My legal experience amounts to over 30 years, including more than 20 years working as a judge. I used to work as the judge of the First Instance Court, the Court of Appeal, the Supreme Court of Ukraine. My judicial career ended at the position of the chair of the Supreme Court. I was appointed as a member of the AGE by the highest judicial governance body, that is the Council of Judges of Ukraine. This is a great honor for me, but at the same time, this is a huge responsibility. I'm aware of the fact and of the expectations that the Ukrainian society has with respect to the process of selection of judges of the Constitutional Court of Ukraine. I understand that, and I'm ready to apply maximum efforts using my professional life experience in order to facilitate and support nominating bodies with the selection of persons who will comply with the high moral standards as well as who will demonstrate in-depth professional knowledge and skills. In my opinion, this selection is possible with a coordinated work of the advisory group of experts, which has to be as transparent and objective as possible. And I'm convinced that this work will assure the Ukrainian society that it can trust procedures conducted by the advisory group of experts as well as the results of these procedures. And the result of all of that will be appointment by the President of Ukraine, by the Parliament of Ukraine, and the Congress of Judges of worthy candidates to the positions of judges of the Constitutional Court of Ukraine. And now I would like to pass the floor to my deputy, judge of the 6th Court of Appeal, Kuzmenko Volodymyr. Thank you. My name is Volodymyr Kuzmenko. I'm the judge of the Administrative Court of Appeal. As of now, I have over 27 years of judicial experience as well as more than 30 years of legal experience. Together with Yaroslav, I have the honor to represent the Council of Judges of Ukraine in this honorable body. As of now, we have conducted lots of work with respect to the discussion of our responsibility. I believe that understanding all of that, with our consolidated work, we will manage to get the result that we will select and carry out all the actions in line with the current legislation with respect to the transparent selection of candidates for the position of judges of the Constitutional Court of Ukraine. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now the next is
Дякую, пані Ганна. Я Наталья Кузнецова.
Thank you, Ms. Hanna. My name is Natalia Kuznetsova. I've been elected as a member of the advisory group of experts by the Parliament of Ukraine, and my professional path started in 1978 when I graduated from the law faculty of Kyiv State University of Taras Shevchenko. In 1985, I defended my thesis paper. In 1993, I defended my doctoral thesis paper. Since 1996, I've been the member of the National Academy of Legal Sciences of Ukraine. At first, I was selected as the member correspondent, and in 2000, I became the current member of the Academy. During my entire professional life, I've basically worked within the academic and pedagogical work. Since January of 1984 until nowadays, I've been working at the Faculty of Civil Law in Kyiv National University. I started working there as the assistant. I used to work as the senior lecturer, professor, head of the faculty, and now I'm the professor of this faculty. Since 2004 to 2018, I was selected as the academician secretary of the Civil Sciences Department of the National Academy of Legal Sciences, and since 2018 till 2023, I have been the vice president. Besides, I've been the member of many expert institutions in Ukraine, in particular of the National Consultation Council of the Verkhovna Rada, of the Supreme Court, of the Constitutional Court, as well as the deputy head of the consultation committee at the chair of the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine. I'm the honorable academician. I'm the honored professor of Kyiv National University, as well as honored professor of the National Academy of Sciences of Ukraine. I have state honors. I'm aware of the entire responsibility delegated to me with respect to the status of the member of the advisory group of experts. I understand that the quality of selected candidates depends on our work, and I will do everything possible to make sure that this process is objective, impartial, transparent, and finally ends with the selection of the most worthy candidates who, as judges of the Constitutional Court of Ukraine, will be able to fulfill their duties in the most effective way, and who will be able to ensure effective protection of the Constitution of Ukraine. I would like to introduce my colleague, my deputy, who is also my colleague in the National Academy of Legal Sciences, Vasyl Shakun. Please, Vasyl, the floor is yours. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to introduce myself as the deputy member of the advisory group of experts of Natalia Kuznetsova. I also have sufficient experience of working in the sphere of law. Specifically, I have 49 and a half years of this experience. Right now, I work as the professor of the criminal law faculty in the National Academy of Internal Affairs. Before that, for almost 40 years, I used to work as the deputy head vice rector of the same academy. Besides, I've defended my thesis paper, in particular in 1991, and in 1996, in the National Academy of Yaroslav Mudry, I defended my doctoral thesis paper. With huge hesitation, but with huge hope for the better, I've agreed to become the deputy member of the advisory group of experts, knowing Natalia for many years, based on our mutual work and based on our membership in the National Academy of Legal Sciences. We've passed the joint procedure of appointment in the Verkhovna Rada. In a nutshell, I have some experience. I still have, I don't have any hesitation anymore, and so thus I've become the deputy member of the advisory group of experts, being aware that lots will depend on our work. And the most important task ahead of us is not to undermine in any way this mechanism of selection of judges of the Constitutional Court. Luckily, nowadays, probably this is one of a few expert councils which basically has has not faced any scandals. And now we can move on to the election of our leadership, that is our chair and secretary. I hope that we will have fruitful work, understanding from the society and the legal community in Ukraine. Thank you for your attention.
Much. And now the next member is Maureen O'Connell from the United States, but please.
Greetings all. Greetings to everyone. It's my pleasure and my honor to be part of the advisory group of experts for this very important task of identifying worthy candidates to be members of the Constitutional Court of Ukraine. I'm fully aware of the duty and the awesome responsibility. I think I take my job very seriously. I am a career public servant in the United States. That's how I've chosen to use my law degree. I was in private practice. I was also a magistrate in probate court for approximately 9 years. Then I was a judge on our Court of Common Pleas. I was prosecuting attorney. I was lieutenant governor of the state of Ohio in the United States, and coinciding with that, I was the director of public safety for the state of Ohio. And I've also, for the past 20 years, have been a member of the Supreme Court of Ohio. The last 12 of those years have been as the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Ohio, the first woman in the history of the state to hold that position. That was a very, very high honor for me. I'm also the longest serving woman elected in the state of Ohio, the history of the state of Ohio. I don't know what that distinction is except to maybe age me, but it is, again, my honor. I've always used my law degree for public service, and I think that this service on the advisory group of experts is a continuation of that sense of duty, that sense of responsibility, and my commitment to the rule of law, which has governed not only my work in the United States. I was past president of the Conference of Chief Justices for the country. I was also board chair for the National Center for State Court. I have been selected on numerous occasions to lecture internationally with groups of international judges. All with the intent of preserving and enhancing and sometimes instilling the rule of law and the concept of the rule of law in democracies. Ukraine is undergoing the modification, the change, the improvement for the Constitutional Court, and it is with I believe their concentration and the concentration of my colleagues on just that, the rule of law, and who will best be in the position to deliver that and uphold it for the citizens of Ukraine with regards to the responsibilities of the Constitutional Court. So again, I'm extremely honored to have been selected, to have been approved by the authorities in Ukraine for this position, and I look forward to the involvement with my colleagues, of course, but also with the people of Ukraine and the ability to come to Ukraine and to interact and to experience the culture of Ukraine. It's been my privilege. I have never been to Ukraine before, and this trip has opened my eyes to all of the interesting and endearing cultural aspects of Ukraine. I look forward to experiencing more. Now, having said that, my deputy is unable to attend today, but I'd like to give you a brief introduction. His name is Thomas B. Griffith, and he is a retired judge of the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia. He spent 15 years in that position. Prior to that, he was a lawyer, a practicing lawyer, and has distinguished himself throughout his career, both in private practice and on the bench. And I'm sure the next time that we are together, he will be able to be present and to enjoy the company and, I might say, the intellect of our colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you, Maureen, so much. And now I would like to give the floor to Alish Zalar to present yourself.
Thank you, Hannah, and greetings to everybody. My name is Aleš Zalar, and I'm a Slovenian citizen. I was nominated to the advisory group of experts by the European Union, and then, of course, appointed by the Cabinet of Ministers. Also, my career is a rather judicial one. I started in the court system in Slovenia, first as a legal assistant, later court administrator, then I became a judge. I served in that capacity of a judge for 18 years. Almost 16 years out of this period, I was the president of the biggest court in my country, the District Court of Ljubljana. I served several terms as president of the Slovenian Association of Judges and vice president of that association. I was a member of the Consultative Council of European Judges for many years. In last 15 years, I work extensively in the various jurisdictions throughout the world, but in particular in Ukraine. I was engaged here as a legal advisor to various rule of law projects, starting with the first judicial reform projects of Ukraine after it declares independence. And then some other projects like mediation, which is quite a novelty in Ukrainian legal system. But I was also engaged as an advisor in the process of establishing the High Anti-Corruption Court of Ukraine since very beginning. So I assisted at drafting the criteria for selection of judges in that process of establishing the court, writing the roadmap of establishing, and at a later stage I contributed to activities of the court in the field of improving the court and case management. So I guess that I have a solid understanding of the Ukrainian legal system, legal framework, judiciary in particular, but also a good understanding of judicial culture, which I think is very important for performing a task of being a member of the AGE. I'm fully aware of the great burden of responsibilities we all members of the AGE bear. And I can promise, I can assure Ukrainian society that as a member of that body, I will do my best to perform my task with due diligence and devotion. And I hope that I could contribute to this very important process of selection of judges of Constitutional Court of Ukraine in a way that this process would meet the highest standards of quality. And I would also like to pass the floor, Hannah, if I may,
Yes, of course.
to my deputy, my distinguished colleague, Marek Zubik from Poland. Please, Marek.
Good day, everybody. My name is Marek Zubik. I'm professor of law and headmaster of the chair of constitutional law at Faculty of Law at University of Warsaw. And I'm also a member, and previously I was chairman of the Committee of Legal Science of Polish Academy of Science. After my graduation, I was an expert in chancellery of the Sejm, the first chamber of Polish Parliament. In 2002, I was starting working as a deputy director of preliminary review of application of and constitutional complaint in the office of the Constitutional Tribunal in Poland. In 2007, I was appointed as Deputy Commissioner for Civil Rights Protections Ombudsperson in Poland. And in 2010, I was elected as the youngest ever judge of Polish Constitutional Court in Poland. Now I'm in retirement. I was appointed, as was announced, as a deputy member of the advisory group of the experts nominated by the European Union. I know that our task is very important, and I do my best to help Ukraine to appointing the best judges for Constitutional Court. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Zubik, for your presentation. And now I would like to give the floor to Oksana Vasilchenko.
Thank you. Вітаю. Я Оксана.
I am Oksana Vasilchenko. I am the director of the Educational and Scientific Institute of Law at the Taras Shevchenko National University of Kyiv. In terms of my scientific interests, I have more than 30 years of experience related to constitutional law, also constitutional principles, human rights protection, constitutional values. But today, first and foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to the armed forces of Ukraine. Thanks to their heroic efforts, it is possible for us to be discussing the constitution of Ukraine. We can talk about the rule of law. We can also discuss the fact that we can move forward towards this path of accession of the European Union. That is why everything what has been mentioned by the colleagues, for all of us, it is such a great honor, but it is also an immense responsibility to be part of the group and the professional composition of this of the advisory group of experts. Also, our connection to different institutes of civil society, they will enable us to be talking about high quality of selection procedure of the judges of the Constitutional Court of Ukraine, and that will build the trust. And also when we talk about the very operations of the Constitutional Court of Ukraine. Also, I would like to pass the floor to the deputy member, Ihor Protsuk. I'm Ihor Protsuk, so I was appointed by the President of Ukraine. I'm a doctor of legal sciences, a professor. I'm the head of the Department of State and Law Theory at Yaroslav Mudry National University in Kharkiv. As an educator and scholar, I started working after graduating in 1993 from their respective educational establishment. So at first I was the intern, but now I have reached the peak of my career and became the head of the department. From 1991 to 2004, I was the deputy dean of the faculty, and since 2004 I've been working as the dean. Also, I am the head of the Department of State and Law Theory, and I'm particularly interested in the distribution of powers. That is the scientific topic of my research, where we discuss the role of the Constitutional Court as related to the distribution of powers. I'm convinced that the activity of the advisory group of experts will definitely lead to high quality and enhancement of the
composition of the Constitutional Court of Ukraine, and also we will have more trust both to the Constitutional Court of Ukraine and the state power in Ukraine, which will also facilitate the process of Ukraine joining the European Union. Thank you for attention.
I would like to present myself. I am Hanna Suchocka. I was involved in the process of transformation in Ukraine since the beginning of transformation in Ukraine since 1991, when I became a member of the Venice Commission. I made about 40 opinions on Ukrainian system. So the system Ukraine is very well known to me. So I'm very happy to be here in this group. In my past, in my career, I was a member of parliament. I was a member of the Constitutional Committee in Poland and very strongly engaged in making the Polish constitution and amendments to the Polish judiciary, to the law on judiciary in Poland. And so for that reason, I think that I know very well the situation now also in Ukraine. And in 2017, I was a member of the Competition Commission for the selection of candidates for the position of a judge of the Constitutional Court of Ukraine regarding persons appointed by the President of Ukraine. So the procedure is, as I know, very complicated, but our role always then and now is to look for the best candidates. And I am very, as I said, happy to be in such an important group of distinguished members of the AG. Now I would like to give a floor to my substitute, who is not in person with us, but he is online, Mr. Richard Barrett. Please, Richard, the floor is yours.
Hello, Hannah, thank you. Dear colleagues and other participants, I am very privileged to be appointed by the Venice Commission for Democracy, True Law and the authorities in Ukraine as the deputy member of this important advisory group of experts. I regret that I have not been able to attend in person this important meeting, but I look forward to working with my colleagues through this very crucial process in enhancing the rule of law in Ukraine. My background since the 1980s is as a lawyer in private practice and with the government and with international bodies in the area of the rule of law in democracy. My current role in Ireland is as a commissioner of the government body which advises on changing the laws of Ireland, but I have worked for the Venice Commission for many years on issues relating to the judiciary in a large number of European countries. So I am very interested in this area of work. Thanks very much, Hannah.
Thank you so much, Richard. So now, after making the short presentations of all of us, you know who you are, and now we can start with our agenda. Dear colleagues, we have the preliminary agenda of the first meeting of our group. The first point is election of the chair and secretary of the advisory group of experts. The second point, adoption of the regulation on the advisory group of experts, and then discussion of the draft methodology for assessing moral qualities and the level of legal competence of candidates for the position of the judge of the Constitutional Court of Ukraine and miscellaneous. Do you have any comments or maybe suggestions to the agenda? I see no proposals. So in this case, I would like to announce the voting. Who is in favor to accept the agenda? Please raise a hand. Only members. We have such a rule that only members are voting, and substitute members only in the case when we are not here. So now the first point. We have to move to the first item of our agenda, which is of great importance, election of the chair and secretary of the advisory group of experts. Now I would like, I would ask who is ready to propose the candidate for the chair. Yes, Maureen? Yes, okay. I give floor to Maureen O'Connell.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a privilege and an honor to be able to nominate this gentleman as our chair for the advisory group of experts. You've heard his brief accounting of his career, and I think even the brief introduction has given you the confidence, the level of confidence as exhibits our level of confidence in him to do this important job. So without further ado, I would like to nominate the Honorable Alice Zalar as chair. Alice, of course, is from Slovenia, long-serving judge in Slovenia, and brings, I think, the necessary background, wisdom, and demeanor that the role of chair requires.
Thank you so much for the presentation, because exactly Alex Zalar presented himself, so you all know his competences and readiness to be a chair. And because we, in our rule of procedure, we provided for the very strong cooperation between president, chair, and secretary. So now I would like to ask members who will propose present the candidacy for secretary of the group. Yes, Natalia, please.
Дякую, пані Ханна.
Thank you, Hannah. We understand the significance of very close cooperation between the chair and between the secretary of the AGE to enable a close contact between the members of the advisory group of experts, speaking of both internationals and nationals. It is very important for us to nominate the candidate, and this nominee is Yaroslav Romaniuk. He has already introduced himself, and we Ukrainian lawyers, we know about his professional backgrounds, about his moral characteristics that will enable for him to be able to take on this responsibility extensively, to provide all the support and assistance to the chair here on the ground. And I think that Yaroslav Mikhailovich is a very dignified nominee for this position.
We see the function strictly, how to say, connected. I would like to announce voting for both, for the president, for the chair, and for the secretary. Who is in favor to appoint Mr. Zalar as a chair and Mr. Romaniuk as a secretary of the group? Please raise your hand. Thank you so much. I see that it's unanimous vote. So we are very happy, and I would like to congratulate to our president, to our chair. I always using the term president, to our chair and to secretary. And now I think that is a time when I can give the floor to the new elected chair. And now you will, how to say, chair our meeting. Thank you so much, and the best congratulations to both of you. Thank you. I also would like to thank the whole group for being ready to find a compromise and to find the best solution. So I think that it is exactly a very good sign for our future work that we have no difference between international and Ukrainian members of the group. We are the only group, one group, and we will work together strongly in the interest of Ukraine and the best selection of the judges to the Constitutional Court of Ukraine. Thank you so much for your readiness and for your work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, both Hannah and Maureen, and all other members for your confidence in our future leadership, mine and my colleague Romaniuk. It is a great burden of responsibility, but we agreed that we accept it. It will require a lot of cooperation, and of course, not just among the chair and the secretary, but among all 6 members of the AGE. Even the chair is just one among 6 equals. And we are all aware of this, so it's very important that we continue our work in the same way as we started with it some time ago when we were preparing this meeting. And I think that this group, although the, let's say, leadership of the group is not really gender balanced, but I can assure Ukrainian societies that all four ladies will have a strict eye on what we are doing at the position of the chair and the secretary. I'm looking forward for our fruitful cooperation in the future. So allow me now to continue with our meeting with the second point of the agenda, and that is a very important point. According to the law, our group, AGE, must adopt the regulations of the advisory group of experts. We started with drafting and discussing these important regulations some weeks ago. And according to my understanding, we came to the final text, which is now ready to be approved. But of course, before I ask members to vote on the submitted draft regulations, I must ask if there is any objection, any remark, any additional opinion, or you agree that we can proceed with voting. Please, is there any? No? Okay. I can state that there are no further remarks. I would now kindly ask you to vote and to express whether you are in favor of regulations of the advisory group of experts by raising your hands. Please, who is in favor? I see. We are unanimous. 6 votes for. Thank you very much, dear colleagues. This is the first big step in our work, very important one. We can now move to the next item of our agenda, and that is the discussion on the methodology for assessing moral qualities and the level of legal competence of candidates for the position of the judge of the Constitutional Court of Ukraine. We also started with drafting and with discussions some time ago, but we still need some additional time for finalizing this text. I can explain to the Ukrainian public that we agreed that we continue with this important process already in the forthcoming week. I hope that we could finalize and adopt this methodology in the shortest period of time. That is why I would suggest, unless there is any objection by my distinguished colleagues, I would suggest that we simply state that we continue with discussion and drafting of methodology in the forthcoming days. Of course, we must be efficient, and that's why we will also use all possible electronic communications to finalize that process. Is there any objection against this?
No.
No? Yeah. Thank you very much. I would like then to go to the last point of the agenda, and that is any other business, miscellaneous. I would first start here by saying that I'm extremely pleased with our work so far, and I would like to thank all members of AGE for constructive discussion, open discussion, for discussion which is based on arguments, and I'm sure that such a way of work will definitely brings us to the results which we are all looking for. I would at the same time take the opportunity, because our meeting is now public, I would like to invite Ukrainian stakeholders, and in particular civil society groups who are always very active in similar selection process of various candidates for various bodies to cooperate with advisory group of experts. We will need your input. We will need information during the process. As you know, the law requires that we collect various information about each candidate and assess this information, and of course checks everything what is relevant also during the interviews with candidates. So this cooperation with Ukrainian stakeholders is also important part of this process. I would also like to announce that AGA work will be transparent as much as possible. We are all aware of the necessity to be transparent in our operations, and of course, in particular, in our decision makings and results issues. So that is why the Ukrainian society, and also any other society, in fact, has a good chance to follow our work. You could access to the Constitutional Court webpage, where is the special section on advisory group of experts, where you could find important informations about our work. But not just on the webpage, we created also a Facebook page and YouTube channel. So the links are also accessible at the webpage of the Constitutional Court of Ukraine. So please follow our work, and this, I think, would also contribute to the not just transparency but also integrity of the overall process. And before I conclude our meeting, of course, I must ask my colleagues if there is any additional issue they would like to raise during this point of the agenda. Is there anything? No, I see no remarks, no desire. So then I could simply state that the first official meeting of the advisory group of experts is completed. I would like to thank everybody for their contribution to this process so far, and I wish you all, I would say, safety in Ukraine, which is every day an issue. I would conclude by saying you have all support of international community. AGA is one of the proof of that, and you will keep, I mean, the international community through such projects will definitely provide you further support, whatever will be necessary. And I congratulate also Ukraine for everything what Ukraine has done to preserve its democracy and sovereignty so far. Slava Ukraini!
Meeting Zoom.